Hello everyone, welcome to another Timeline Tuesday reading. So in this video, in this reading, we will be honing in on the energies taking place between July 8th and July 14th. So basically the second week of July. We do have some things going on astrologically. Definitely Uranus and Gemini, and just a lot going on, you guys, as far as the cosmos, and just some changes that might be worth mentioning. I'm sure we're all going through this energy in a different way. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you're noticing that I'm talking in a quieter voice, it's because I'm recording when it's really late in a very quiet environment. And I just went through an environment change myself, so I'm recording readings in a new area, basically. So hopefully you guys are able to hear me. Also, there's a couple things to mention. I'm a day late doing this. I see January 8th, January 9th. Those could be important time periods. That's Capricorn season time period, which is reminding me that there's a Capricorn full moon this week. That could be potentially the most important thing to mention. On July 10th, we have a full moon in Capricorn. At the time that I record this, the full moon in Capricorn is hours away, like 5 or 6 hours away. So that's definitely something that we should probably touch on a little bit as far as the future illuminating, realizing where our hard work has paid off and where we're getting rewarded, and perhaps realizing what is no longer worth our time and energy and effort. So it's going to be a little bit of both, but I do feel like as your tarot reader, there may be a symbol here, like an omen. This may be a week where, like, give yourself grace when it comes to things not being done on time. It's reminding me of divine timing, which is this idea. I see February 12th, 13th, that's Aquarius season. It's this idea, divine timing is this idea that things happen when they're meant to, not before or after. So keep that in mind this week. Just like me, I'm doing my Timeline Tuesday video on a Wednesday, technically. Things may be a little bit late, whether that's an hour late, a couple days late. Just try to be patient with yourself and those around you as we get tasks done. There's a lot going on, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. So you never know, you could be rushing yourself to danger, or the delay in something this week could help you in some way, right? So trust the timing of things always, but specifically this week. And also, I will not be choosing a crystal for this week because we'll just say that I need to wear obsidian for a while. Now I see March 9th, March 10th, March 11th. So I'm going to be wearing black obsidian to ground myself because of some personal changes I'm going through right now. So I might, next week I have tons of crystals back there. And I may pick from this big old pile of crystals next week. I kind of liked doing that, just to hone in on any crystals or chakras. So maybe next week we'll get back to a crystal, but for this week, I'm personally going to be wearing black obsidian or something with black tourmaline, some sort of grounded stone to protect me. So I definitely wanted to touch on those two things. And then also, you guys, just very briefly, timeline jumps. I very recently, over this past week or so, week and a half, jumped timelines. So these are timeline, I see April 8th, 9th, April 10th, 11th, Aries season energy. I seen Capricorn, Aquarius, and Aries, our friends, our future, who we are, our identity, the community we live in, what we're doing for a career. Those things could be important. Our resources, our money, getting into Taurus season now, April 28th, the end of April. I don't know if that time period was important, but anyway, I think we just went through a timeline jump, which it's kind of hard to explain what a timeline jump is. I feel like it's definitely significant. If you feel like major changes are going on in your life, you could very well have went through a timeline jump. Sometimes we go through timeline jumps personally, individually. Sometimes we go through them as a collective in the whole universe. So if you felt something shift, between the beginning of April going into the second week of April. There's definitely a lot of stuff going on astrologically. But for now, May 11th, May 12th, May 13th coming up on the dashboard. So Taurus season may be important, Gemini season may be important. But we're going to go ahead and instead of the crystal, I'm going to pull an extra oracle card from my angel tarot cards. So let's go ahead, as usual, we're going to change it up a little bit differently this week. Maybe there's something we're doing differently this week. It may benefit you to do something a bit differently. Even though you may have been doing something a certain way up until this point, maybe it's time to change things up a little bit and do things in a unique way that benefits yourself. So let's go ahead and grab the oracle card here. I see 555 on the clock. So what energies for July 8th to July 14th? Tarot, Timeline Tuesday, Tarot Tuesday. Let's see what we can pick up. I have reason to believe that we just shifted timelines. I see June 9th, June 10th, June 11th. So let's see if we can get one card to read from. Okay, now that is a lot of cards. Prosperity, talent, financial health, travel. Bottom of the deck, lighten your load. That one's been coming up a lot. End of June, very important time period. So what messages will help us this week between the 8th and the 14th? Forgiveness, love, blessings, strength. Now this is the card that came up last week, and bravery, courage. So there is some sort of truth here, conversations, facts. There's some blessings coming in the form of love, but there might need to be some forgiveness. And then dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. I would like just one card to come out that would help guide us this week for Timeline Tuesday. One or two cards, please, as a firm, clear message to help guide us this week. I will say the last several weeks as I've done these readings, I see July 17th, July 18th. I believe that's Cancer season energy. So next week may be important to this timeline for some reason, but I've just felt, some really strong, intense energies within these timelines over the past few weeks. So that's been kind of interesting to try to tap into. The cards are wanting to come out. It's kind of hard to get just one card to hone in on the energy because there's so many different energies taking place. So it's kind of chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. Like we can't read that whole deck, right? But there's a lot that we need closure on. All right, Spirit, let's get some clarity out. One single card to represent guidance for this week. And look at that. Did you guys just see that? See, and I see 8-8. August 8th, August 9th, August 10th, August 11th. So there's something coming up now this week between the 8th and the 14th where we may need closure about something, but it's going to affect our journey in August for some reason, specifically the end of August, August 26, 27. In this card, we have someone who is walking away from a very big door, right? They're in the forest. There's a lot of vibrant change happening, a lot of clarity. Now, obviously, there can be some sadness associated with closure as well, right? So we're having to close the door on something or someone. And we're going to read from the book of this card, but it's very interesting. And then we have good luck. We have that black cat energy. And then we have passion, okay? Passion. So fire sign energy. There's some passion. There's some good luck. I'm getting Sagittarius energy from that. So let's go ahead and read from the book and what it says about closure. And immediately I open up to clarity as well. So there may be some clarity that comes with this. Here's the book. It says, it's time to get out of a situation and aim for one that better suits your needs. You may feel obligated or obliged to stay, hoping things will get better, or out of a sense of loyalty. Stop hesitating in the shadows and withdraw immediately. Live in the future and stop trying to recreate the past. Trust your instincts on this one and embrace the lesson. For all shall be well. As this door closes, a window of light will open and it will bring in brighter experiences. Say farewell to negativity, control, and disempowerment as you finally make a determined effort to let go. It's time to do a disappearing act. It says you don't have to do this part, but it does say to take a bowl of water and a piece of material from whoever or whatever has gone or needs to go from your life during a gibbous waning moon on a Saturday. So Saturday may be important. It says the door is closed, won't look back. New road ahead, back on track. Release old ties to set me free. Material holds past energy. Submerge in water, hold it down. Allow the past to fully drown. Gratitude for lesson learned, new doors open, truly earned. Show the bowl to the door by placing it outside until the dark moon. And now say, gracefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. There's a message here that says enough is enough. It's time to accept an ending. Sorry is hard to say. A breakup serves you well. A wonderful opportunity awaits. Make room for new energy to sweep in. So a couple things there, you guys. I see November 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, November time period. I think that would be Sagittarius, like Thanksgiving time period. So it straight up says that it's time to get out of a situation. There may be some situations, people, places, and things that we need to get out of this week. Some of us have known this for a while. Something better suits us. We may feel obligated to stay, even if this is a job or a home environment, family stuff, relationship. We're hoping things will get better. We've been hoping things will get better for a while now. Maybe we're trying to be loyal to a person, place, or thing. But it says to stop hesitating in the shadows and withdraw immediately. I see December 1st, December 2nd, December 3rd. Live in the future. Stop trying to recreate the past. That's giving That's giving Capricorn full moon vibes, Cancer new moon vibes a couple weeks ago. We are going to have a new moon in Leo on the 24th of July. So this did mention a dark moon, okay? So we might need to wait for the Leo new moon to do something. Stop trying to recreate the past. Trust your instincts. Embrace the lessons you've learned. All is going to be well. Doors are closing, windows are opening. Say farewell to negativity. There was something here about control and disempowerment as you finally make a determined effort to let go. This is really giving the Capricorn full moon on the 10th of July. And it's giving that Cancer season energies. Take a bowl of water, release certain things that need to be let go of from your life. Okay, Saturday may be an important day this week. We have to show certain things to the door by placing it outside. This could be metaphorical, but enough is enough, right? There's something in all of our lives that we've just simply had enough of this week. Some of us may be having a hard time apologizing or accepting apologies from others, where some people could be going through breakups. I forgot about this part, but it did say that a wonderful opportunity awaits us, but we need to make room for new energy to sweep in. Some of us may be actually sweeping this week and cleaning and stuff like that. So I am going to get a love card in a moment, but I'm very curious to see what comes out in this deck. Okay, same ordeal. Hopefully just one card or so comes out to help us on Timeline Tuesday, July 8th to the 14th, 2025. Messages. So I have a card that fell on the floor. That's my symbol for something being swept under the rug or trying to be hidden. Something that will, reveal itself. There's a lot of fate and karma going on right now. Free will, those are very powerful energies, right? So those things are extremely at work. We do have the Ace of Fire at the bottom of the deck. That says an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So no wonder we're needing closure, because there's this new spark trying to come in, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this is excitement, a new journey, but we have the Eight of Water. We're having to move on, right? We're having to walk away, search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. In tarot cards, the Eight of Cups talks about the full moon, going on a soul journey, feeling disappointed and wanting to escape. I see a lot of water energy here. Three of Cups, maybe we're looking for a reconciliation. There could be some kind of celebration going on. And then we have Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective this week. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So some of us, because of something exciting and new, it's giving us that courage and confidence and that motivation to walk away from what no longer serves us. Okay? There's a lot of growth in that way. And then we're awakening. Okay? That's why this is happening. It's because we're going through an awakening. So let me see. Okay, the card on the floor did not fall face down. It just hid itself from me. So the card is ego, and we have the card 15. What were these cards? The number 12, July 12th, July 15th may be important, but we have the ego card, okay? Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So let's be careful of the ego. We can see this man here has a lot of materialistic stuff around his belt. And I noticed that there's a rather fancy mask that he's using to hide himself. So this is the type of person or energy that has a lot of material wealth, but what about soul wealth? What about emotional wealth, right? Someone here is way too over-concerned. Maybe that's why we need closure with a certain thing. Maybe it's from the past, especially towards the end of June. There was a physical, tangible, materialistic value that we had to walk away from, okay? I sense some stubbornness, maybe ego, Leo or Taurus energy that may be important to the situation. And that may mean our money, resources, our tangible wealth versus our identity. And then also, ego in spirituality is often associated with negativity, you know, like how egoic of you. But if you look up ego, the definition is one's self-worth. I see July 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, the full moon being important once again. So some of us may be going through ego death, meaning even though our ego wants us to do the safe thing, do the honorable thing, we may have to go against our ego and, you know, be a little bit uncomfortable for a while, or do something that we've never tried before or that we did in the past and got hurt. We may have to do those things again with a new sense of self-worth, okay? So we have some closure here. We have ego, all right? There's something here. And then remember, there's new exciting opportunities coming in once we walk away from something. Let's go ahead and tap into the love messages, and then I will see what the actual tarot is saying for this week. So let's see if we have any love. Now, this is for single, married, divorced, boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter, right? Because it's not just love. I see August 7th, 8th, and 9th important. Leo season. All right, so give your relationship a chance. There's something that we need to give a chance this week, and I see August 18th, 19th, 20th. Work on your partnership. Like there's something that requires a bit of work, okay? Now, some of us have given a relationship a chance. We've worked on our partnership. We've worked on this job. And it's just at this point, it's an ego blow to our ego. It's something here. Pay attention to who and what honors your true sense of self-worth. And then we may need closure with other things, okay? I do see a relationship here that involves the ego of two people, and then we have engagement. All right, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. There could be some sort of engagement here, maybe not literally. And then we have a past life relationship. Some of you guys are encountering people. I see September 7th, 8th, 9th. Someone here is in a past life relationship. Someone in your past that you were engaged to is important. Or some of you guys are engaged to people you knew them before, right? They're very familiar. There's something going on with the past, and then an engagement in the past, a commitment you had in the past. It's very familiar and nostalgic. Okay. Let's see for the rest of the video what comes out in the tarot cards. And then I'm going to roll the dice. Now that we have all our oracle cards, what's going on, Spirit, for this week of July, Tuesday to Tuesday? Well, it's going to be from Tuesday the 8th to Monday the 14th, okay? Very heavy week, you guys. This card has come up quite a lot during these readings, so I know things have been heavy for quite a while. This is the card of burden. It's more specifically the card of burden being released. I see the year 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could it be? Some of us, I see 2011, 2012. Some of us are still dealing with people, places, and things that are burdening us from all those years ago. All right. We could be literally our nervous systems, like I'm talking upset stomachs because of how heavy this has been. All right. This is heavy for our ego. This could be potentially what we need to kind of let go and get closure for, because we've carried this for so long. Now, for some of us, this has to do with a marriage, with a wedding, with a home environment, okay? I seen engagement. So someone here may have actually gotten engaged, and maybe you've seen someone online get engaged. They're engaged online or something. There's a wedding here and an engagement. So it's going to be different for everyone out there. Now, someone here sees that someone's married or engaged and it hurts their ego. You need, maybe this was your closure, seeing that someone got married, or seeing that someone was engaged, or that they moved in together, seeing or knowing, figuring out where someone lives, all right? Because we have a family situation, some sort of foundation or celebration. Now, someone here is trapped in a home environment as well, or they're trapped in a marriage. They're trapped in a commitment. So you're not able to give your relationship a chance, which is hurting someone's ego. This might be why someone's experiencing a lot of heavy family dynamics or a lot of heavy home environment stuff. Like, this could potentially be what some of you need closure about. Let's see what else we have. Now, moving into next week, there might be a burden that's released and someone feels relief from heavy home dynamics or marriage dynamics. All right, so what else do we have for July 8th to the 14th? Timeline Tuesday. What are the timeline energies? I can tell that things are quite heavy. We're still trying to give something a chance. Now we have these two cards that just came out. Obviously, there's something a bit hidden about this week as well. This means we could be hiding something. Something could be hiding from us. Maybe something's just hidden in general. Maybe it's supposed to be hidden and revealed at a certain time, right? I know we have a full moon this week. Things that are hidden are going to be illuminated anyway. So let's go ahead and reveal what this is. It's that, okay, it's this message. Nice. So yeah, some of us are not, we're kind of being hush-hush about our anxieties in this commitment. That our anxieties are the fact that we feel trapped in this home environment. Somebody is really in their head about an engagement. They're really in their head about a wedding or a home environment or a family situation that's getting really heavy. Okay, there's been a lot of work on this situation, but there's a lot of secrets. Someone here needs to follow their intuition. There's definitely some hidden energies. Maybe the new moon in Leo is important. Someone here is really trying to not feel what they're feeling. They're trying to deny their emotions, but it's literally putting them in a prison. Also, someone here may feel like they're home. They feel like a prisoner in their own home, right? Like they feel trapped. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. What else do we have this week? It's another heavy week energetically, but I do feel like we're slowly being released from this anxiety and this chaos. All right. Page of Swords. There could be children involved for some of us. New conversations, new mindsets. There's a little bit of spying going on as well that it's actually encouraged a little bit. All right, there's a lot of misinformation and miscommunication as we head into a Mercury retrograde period. So a lot of us are really trying to have our facts straight and gain clarity, a clear perspective about something. So in order to do that, sometimes we need to dig deep and make sure that we're going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, making sure that everything adds up. This is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, having new conversations with people. Someone also is spying on a home environment, like they really want to know you or someone else, depending on where you're at in this timeline. I see someone in the situation who is watching a home environment. They're literally watching someone get married. Maybe online, maybe they watched a video of someone's engagement and it's got them really in their head. They really want to know more about whether someone's happy in this home environment or not. maybe someone's watching someone feel trapped and imprisoned and heavy, and they're watching a relationship. They're watching these two people get married and work on their partnership, but they also have information about how this person really feels. Like that they, no matter how happy the pictures look online, there's someone actually in jail in this situation too, and that's what's getting heavy. But I do see someone literally standing to the side and observing this marriage, this commitment, this relationship. And someone here is not saying something. They're not calling or texting someone because they feel that someone's married or engaged, and they'd rather hold back than say anything right now. They're waiting for the perfect moment to say something until they have all their facts or details right. And it's like someone can't say something or do something until a burden is ended in a home environment, until someone sets themselves free. We could be dealing with twin flame stuff here. And then wow. Okay, so the Judgment card and the Wheel of Fortune. This is talking about change, optimism, Jupiter. We have Jupiter and we have Pluto here. So that's transformation, deep intensity when it comes to empowering ourselves. Like there's going to be some changes that take place. Now this is fate, this is destiny, this is awakening. Like literally fate and destiny are awakening. There might have been fate and destiny of past timelines that are being beckoned, if that makes sense. I don't even know necessarily how this is going to manifest, but I'm not going to lie, these two cards together are really powerful, extremely powerful. I told myself if the Wheel of Fortune showed up in my readings from now on, that I would take that as a message that I'd be motherfucking damned if I didn't just reveal the Tower card. If this situation wasn't already intense enough. Now we have Mars. So Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto, 3 major arcana. Guys, things are really shaking up this week. I don't want anyone to be afraid out there. If anything strikes you by surprise or catches you off guard or falls apart unexpectedly, please know that it's your fate. It's so that something else can happen in its place, right? We have to destroy before we can rebuild. We definitely jumped timelines. We didn't only jump timelines, we were literally catapulted and thrown into a brand new one. Please trust that the wheel is turning in your favor and that some of this is resurrecting for second chances, forgivenesses. Oh my gosh. So earlier and over the past couple days when I was thinking, man, I think I skipped timelines. It's going to be very interesting to tap into the Timeline Tuesday videos. Maybe if I see the Wheel of Fortune card, it's an indication that we've jumped timelines. No, wait. Maybe it should be the World card. Yeah, so they both showed up. No matter which way you cut it, we're all jumping timelines this week. We already did. I think it has something to do with the full moon in Capricorn. I think it has something to do with Uranus going into Gemini for a little while. I think it has something to do with mainly the Capricorn full moon, because there's some kind of chapter that's over here, but at the same time, things need to be forgiven. It's like we're being extremely tested under pressure so that, I don't know, that the universe can make sure that we're all in alignment with our new timeline, or that we're all ready or healed or whatever. So wow, definitely some cycles, definitely some shakeups, definitely some resurrection. There might be some things that emerge unexpectedly that change everything. Like things that you thought were dead, things that you thought were gone forever, they're unexpectedly rising back up. And I think a past timeline, I'm not sure why, but I think a past timeline is, so I don't know if those years were important, the 2005, 8, all those numbers that came up. It's just a very unexpected shift, but it's for the better. It's ultimately, it might not seem positive right away because it's like a zombie apocalypse, end of the world catastrophe, but it's like at the end, it's way better for you. All right. Yeah, let's get one more card and kind of complete this reading. There's a lot more that we need to know about a home environment so that we don't wind up being stuck again and burdened. Okay, it's time to let this go and get some closure, right? Our egos are extremely important. I can see that there's been some conflict here, okay? I don't know if anyone's arguing about work. This does not look like a healthy work situation or teamwork situation. Pick and choose your battles wisely. This is why someone is being really careful about what they say. They're watching, okay? Someone here is committed to observing and watching before they say anything. They don't want to speak too soon, or it's important not to speak too soon this week before you have all the details and information, especially about home environments, weddings, engagements, commitments, okay? And maybe someone doesn't want to argue or say something to upset someone, so there's some conflict mentally. So just take a closer look at a situation. Take a closer look at someone's home environment and the responsibility or heavy burden that's involved. We have the Four of Swords. It's important to rest this week as well. It's important to heal and recover, meditate, pray, whatever you're into, baths, ritual. This is R&R, like rest and recovery. This is rejuvenation. This is about taking some time to mentally clear yourself after loss and heartbreak, okay? So there's someone here that you haven't spoke to in like 4 years or longer, at least a month. You haven't, there hasn't been a lot of clarity on a situation. You haven't heard back about this house. You haven't heard back about certain things that would relieve the pressure, and that's because maybe there's something better coming for you. But yeah, we have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck, meaning that there are certain endings this week. I see a mother figure here. I see a King of Wands. So there needs to be confidence. There's a Leo here, of course. Leo has showed up in every single reading. Someone here may have Venus in Leo, or there's something here about attraction, expression, confidence, winning. Okay, even if you're made to feel like a loser and like you've reached rock bottom, be there confidently, right? Don't let it destroy your ego. So let me see. We're going to roll the dice quietly and see what's going on. So yes, definitely some endings, you guys, but the worst is over. There's going to be some good luck, good fortune, and fate coming in. All right, so did you guys see that dice literally roll under there and hide? Whatever that dice represents is going to be something hidden. I do see a young Aquarius here. Talking to your friends. This is someone's friend. I see Aquarius, Libra, Pisces, and then money is involved with Taurus. Someone's second house may be Aquarius. So Capricorn rising could be here. Let's see what this hidden dice is. Oh, great. So it's either the north or south node. I see Saturn and the moon here. So there's something here that we need to like either secretly release. We know this. We need to secretly head in this direction to release our own pain. There's a sense of urgency as I end the reading, just as my own, as your tarot reader, I feel a sense of urgency to release. So yeah, I see Libra and Aquarius. Make sure that there's no fantasy or confusion when we're speaking this week, you guys. Like, we need to say what we mean and mean what we say. And I see 3333 on the clock, so I think that's a good sign to stop the reading. Look before you speak, look before you leap kind of thing. There may be some weird information or weird conversations. Again, speaking to friends, some of your friends or colleagues or people in your neighborhood or in your community may be able to help. There might need to be some like relationship stuff, because I do see marriage and engagements and people kind of stuck in their head. And then of course, money, resources happening as well. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you were able to hear me. Thank you so much for listening. And hopefully I am back on the 15th to tap into the timeline. Bye.